got anything on my face, do I?
Mum, 5 years, where are we going to be? Yeah, we go with that.
At 11 p.m. that night, I saw a post and they said they'd chosen us as the top banh mi in Auckland, which was like phenomenal.
Every morning, 2 a.m., we work 22 hours. I only slept for 2 hours because back then we have nothing, you know, we have to start from scratch. So we opened 13 bakeries.
The secret sauce to mug and bowl definitely is. Hi, I'm Rico. I'm Vietnamese, Cambodian, Chinese, and grew up in Auckland. I started Mug and Bowl with two business partners. One was a chef and one helped me with the interior design. They helped me design the whole cafe. And so it was about 3.5 years ago. At the time I was working in Hospo as well for a place called Tok Tok. I was a restaurant manager there and I had been working there for about 4.5 years. My partner and I had thought about opening a place because I was doing a lot of work for someone else and I think it was time to do more work for myself. My old boss helped me with the name for Mug and Bowl. He just told me to choose something that sounded funny, didn't have to sound cool, just something like close to my personality. When we first opened Mug and Bowl, we wanted to create a space where people were comfortable to come to, somewhere where we could start a community, serving good food, laughs, and just comfort. Last year, I asked my mum to consult on the menu, and she said yes, but she ended up taking over the whole kitchen, which was a good thing because all my food tastes so much better. Not that it tasted bad before, but my cabinet is amazing. All my food it just flies out the door. People love it now. Yeah, I would say my mum's the secret sauce to this cafe. Having family here is great support, and we just work together and just make everything as good as we can. So about 10 years ago, my family used to own the United Video on Dominion Road, under the Manhattan. My brothers and I grew up there. So coming back into Mount Roskill, seeing so many familiar faces, it just feels good because people would just come in and point at me saying, "Aren't you from United Video? What are you doing in food?" It just feels good. A lot of the food that we serve here was comfort food growing up, like pho, banh mi, bok ho, all the traditional dishes that we serve, something that I ate when I was a child and I yearned for, like working at other places, having fusion food. Great food, but I just wanted to serve something that I love to the community. So we were lucky a couple years ago to get onto the top 100 iconic eats for our banh mi, the pork belly banh mi with the pate. And then last year, a group of food reviewers called Best Bites Uncovered did a banh mi crawl. They do different food crawls every weekend. And when they did the banh mi crawl, I had no idea they're going to be coming in. And I was in the kitchen because I was down a staff member and just shooting food out of the kitchen. That afternoon, I was at 11 p.m. that night. I saw a post and they said they'd chosen us as the top banh mi in Auckland, which was like, it was just phenomenal. First made the offer on the pre-existing business a couple weeks before the last COVID lockdown. And I was lucky enough to have my lawyer tell me and put a clause in there to, if we go into lockdown, that you settle 5 days after lockdown. And I'm so thankful to that guy because if I hadn't, I don't think we'd still be here. We would have been paying rent with no profit, no income. Mum's got, I don't know where she gets it from, maybe from coming to New Zealand as a refugee, but she's just got like the most amazing drive, like never stops. She'll be here at 11 o'clock at night sometimes, and I tell her, go home, and she's like, I'm just relaxing, just chopping spring onions, listening to podcasts and stuff like that. But she never stops. Yeah. And then I think like I need to take a little bit more from her of that because I love to relax. Mum and dad, like, amazing work ethic. Like, we wouldn't be where we are right now without them. Like, with their working hard in the bakeries, and the cafes, the video stores, everything. Advice for the next generation and starting businesses or pursuing their goals. Don't be too scared. Yes, you're going to have difficulties. You may fail the first time, but keep trying. The first 1.5 years here was really hard. Just covering our lease and everything. But the more you try, it just comes if you care enough. Yeah, the secret sauce to Mug and Bowl definitely is family. Having my mum, my auntie, my uncle, my cousin, my brother, all working with me. We just support each other as hard as we can. They push me, I push them. There may be some yelling and crying from time to time, but all the experience that everybody's amassed throughout the years, like my mother, like almost 30 years in hospo, my auntie, 25 years, my cousin, growing up in the bakeries with my grandparents and stuff, and me growing up in my parents' bakeries and cafes. We're just trying to bring all our experience here and just serve what we love. We could follow other people and try and copy other people, but a lot of the recipes we use here, if I were to write them down and give them to you, you'd be like, that's not Vietnamese food, but it tastes like Vietnamese food. It's hard to get feedback from strangers, but it's even harder to get feedback from your family because being offended by other people, you just don't talk to them again. But when your family gives you feedback and you get upset, you have to be thick-skinned because like you have to see them the next day. Biggest learning curve being an entrepreneur, and I didn't realize it at the start, was how much work goes into it yourself. Working as a restaurant manager and like managing other businesses, you have a complete team to help you and you don't take all the responsibility. But as the proprietor, all the responsibility falls on yourself. And that's another reason why having family here is great, because you can share that responsibility without the burden of feeling like you shouldn't be sharing it with someone else. My self-care, when I get home, I end up sitting on the couch and I read comic books. Like I love comic books. There's a comic book drawer inside here just for you guys, you know? I haven't told many people, but there's like all the Batman and Superman and all these comics for you to read if you want to. What brought me into food, it was quite funny because like growing up in the bakeries and cafes with my parents, I did my hardest to get away from hospitality and from food. I tried to be a real estate agent. I studied to be a social worker, but then while I was studying, I had a part-time job as a waiter. And then I realized that what I learned in the degrees that I studied and working with my family, I love talking to people. So it's not just the food that I have a passion about, it's about like talking to you guys and hearing about your day, hearing about what's troubling you. Sometimes I feel like a counselor behind the coffee machine. But that's what fulfills me, is like being able to talk to people. I think if I was just behind a wall making coffee or behind a wall making food, it wouldn't be the same. It's about being part of the community and talking to you guys. What I love about Roskell, being here for the past 3.5 years, like I've seen so many people come in and out of the cafe. And like the skill I built was being able to remember people from the past, like back in the video store days, back from 2-3 years ago. And when they come back in, it's just like seeing an old friend. It's not just about trying to get new customers in and shooting them out the door. It's about bringing you guys back and like we become family in a way, you know? Like we can talk to each other comfortably. It's not just about giving you a banh mi and saying bye, you know? Tips I would give to a budding entrepreneur: try your best not to follow or try to copy anybody, but serve what you're confident and passionate in. Just try your best to be yourself rather than try to shape yourself into the image you want to be. Just be yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
My man.
My name is Ruth Tan. We specialize in Vietnamese food. We on 8 Carr Road, Roskell. Come and try our food. So I born in Cambodia. My parents is from China, Guangzhou. So my parents in the 1940, there's the Japanese War and China War. So my grandparents took my father to Hong Kong, run to Hong Kong. And then when my father grew up in Hong Kong, when he was about 18, so he went to Cambodia. Back then in the 50s, Cambodia was booming. You know how those in the 60s, the filming, the cars, everything's out. So my father went to Cambodia and went looking for work, and then married my mom. Married my mom, and I born in Cambodia. But originally we're all from China. I born in 1970, and 1975 there's a war. You know, Pol Pot, the killing field. Anybody watch the killing field? Have you heard of the killing field? You haven't heard of the killing field? The Khmer Rouge, the Pol Pot, yeah, the Soviet War, Cambodia, fight with Cambodia. And that's when my family had to pack up and leave. So we walked from Cambodia to Vietnam, took us 30 days. But lucky, my whole family alive. Most of my relatives, my dad, family, half of their children passed away in the war. You know, they killed all the baby, they killed all the intelligence. So my father was back in Cambodia, he worked as a journalist. So he had lots of connections. When the war came, he knew. So he planned us all and wanted to send myself, my brother, and my sister, and my mum back to Hong Kong. But my mum doesn't want to leave without him. So then by the time the decision was made, it was too late. All the airports shut. So we packed our bag, and the Khmer Rouge said, "You be back, in the next tomorrow or next couple. Just take whatever you need, and you'll be coming back." It's just we evacuate everybody, but we're never allowed to come back. When you leave the town, that's it. They put you all in camp. So my father was a journalist, so he went all around. So it took us only 30 days to get out of that war, and we end up the border of Vietnam. And then my auntie, my father's sisters, if you have family in Vietnam, you're allowed to go in the immigration. But if you don't have any family, they push you back. They push you back to the war. Or you get to go to, back in the 90s, the refugee, New Zealand take lots of refugees. So we came 1984, New Zealand government opened it up and bring us in. So we came here, everything free. The aeroplane arrived here, we lived in Mangere camp for 6 weeks, learn how to use a toilet, how to speak English, all those. And that's how I came to New Zealand in 1984. Long story short. So when we came, I don't speak a word of English. I don't have any education. I only start school when I came to New Zealand, 14. But if you're a refugee in Vietnam, you're not allowed to go to school. Now, because Vietnam is communist. So any refugee or any things, they don't not allow you to go to their school and worry that you might, So they put you in the camp. So you were going to learn Vietnamese 1 hour a day. So my father's a journalist, so he's very good with his words. So he teach us like a half teacher. So that's how I only learned Chinese, not a word of English. I don't speak a word of English. So when we came here academically, half the time I just go to school, I look at you and I'm like deaf. For the first 6 months or a year, I said to my dad, let's pack and go back to Vietnam because we don't understand. And the food, back then there's no banh mi. There's no Asian supermarket. I was the only Asian in the school. So when we came in 1984, we sponsored, because my father's a Christian, so we sponsored by Long Bay Church over Long Bay, and another church, Malaysian church in university, they rented the church. So we sponsored by 2 churches. So when we arrived, we live in Browns Bay, they found us a beautiful villa right in the middle of the beach because they felt sorry for us. We were refugee. They rented a house right in front of Browns Bay Beach, a villa. When we left 6-week camp, Mangere camp, when we arrived there, into the house, it's like heaven. Heaven. All the beds are made, my uniforms all ironed, cutlery, the fridge full with food, everything is all set up. TV, and the lounge was a sea view. We didn't even know what sea view is. So it was amazing. We were there for 3 years. And after 3 years, we worked together very hard. The sponsor will found out my brother a job. I work part-time. There's a Chinatown takeaway. I work 2-3 nights a week. My father, not speak a word of English, so they gave him a caretaker because he was a teacher. He doesn't know English, so he's the caretaker at North Cross Intermediate. So I go to North Cross Intermediate too. So every day after school, we cleaned all the toilets, we cleaned all the bathroom, and then we walk home from North Cross to Rosedale Road. Rain or shine. After that, academically, I'm not good with academic. So we go straight into something that we're good at, food. So straight away we went into work. I work in ice cream shops in Mission Bay with a Taiwanese boss from church. We came here and that's a bakery. And then 1988, met Rico there, 1889, married Rico there, 1990, Rico born. Yeah. Back then, 11 months later, I had another child, his brother. Every morning, 2 a.m., we worked 22 hours, 18 to 22 hours a day. I only slept for 2 hours. Because back then we have nothing, we have to start from scratch. So we opened 13 bakeries. Me and Rico's dad, Alice Lee Bakehouse, Onehunga Bakehouse, Sunny Nook Bakehouse, Waipuna Bakehouse, Cleanliness Bakehouse, Oriwa Bakehouse, Flatbush, Albany, all around. Any town we go, we just name the town. Today, most of those bakeries still running. 30 years later, Onehunga Bakehouse by the police station, Sunny Nook Bakery still there. Waipuna Bakehouse still there, Alice Lee Bakery still there. So Oriwa shut down. So Linfield, actually, we got one in Linfield as well too by the Woolworth, but that shut down too. So that's all we're good at. That's how it came to work. And then I told myself I'll have to retire when I was around about in my 40s. So, but then didn't, just keep going and going. And then 4 years ago, Rico said, Mom, I bought a cafe. Oh my God. It's hard work, you know, day and night, it's hard work. Thank you. And happy for him, you know, and he had a good partner running, but with food, it's really hard. It's hard to run partner because you have to do different ideas. So 6 months ago, we joined the team. I joined them and bring the whole home recipe, all my experience through the years. And because with a young generation, you love a bit more fusion. You know, fusion food, more healthy. Back then, we would do like sausage roll, lemon-tin donuts, you know, apple turnover. Now I actually do lemon-tin. I bring apple turnover back. So I enjoy the work. I love it. I'm very passionate, you know, whatever. When you guys come, you can see I'm very passionate with food. It's not about business. It's not making money. It's what you passion. Your customer can feel it when they come in. It's not about some other place you go, you just want to sell and out. For me, I love what I want to eat, my customer will like to eat. That's what I'm trying to listen and learn. But when I came here, I love it. But the age is killing me. Actually, I twisted my back last week and all bruised my back. Now I can't knee down and I have to get up slowly. So I love it, but the age said no. So I said to Rico, that's it. I think maybe the next 6 months, maybe. Hopefully he's married and have a wife and they can do it together. That's why I said children come along in 5 years. So yes, I love it, but I think it's the age that slow down. And with my personality, it's different. If I do it right. If I don't do it, I don't do it. So sometimes our taste is a little bit old-fashioned. So we have to, you know, as a parent, just say, listen to me, I'm right, you know. But sometimes we'll do it and we'll learn. Like with my sister, we start to learn. Me and her say, okay, it's good, but let's ask Rico. We always ask Rico for the last opinion because he's the one that with the younger generation taste, we pretty old-fashioned. So every time we make a nice, deep, traditional dish, we always pass through Rico first. So Rico will make the last judgment. Add a bit of this, add a bit of that, yes. It's a community. It's actually, that's why when Rico picked this place, he know, Free King, Mount Roscoe, he know this area because we all like a community. Like back then in the United Video, it's like a get together. It's a meeting place. It was so exciting. Every time it's raining, you guys will all come in, line up and get those videos and DVDs and families. Yeah, it's a community. We know about these communities. I went to Tonga. I live in Tonga. I went to Tonga many times. And one time, King Tonga died, and the whole country have to wear black, right? So I went to farmers. I bought all surplus, and I shipped 4,000 garments to Tonga. I put in a truck. I went with the Tongan sister around the market and sell them cheap, $5, $10. And it was really fun. I love traveling. But back then I married so early and I couldn't have, you know, time to travel. That was the opportunity. So I do love raw fish and mei and corned beef. So I know all these Tongan food too. So I love food, so anything with food.
How do you see Mount Roscoe now from back then to where it is now?
Change a lot. It changed. I think the last generation was a bit, you know, we were pretty quiet, very passion, very calm. But now this is hyped up a bit. So the younger generation more, you know, like the place changed. I felt it's really different, the Mount Roscoe. It's more lively. Yeah, very lively with different food, with different places, especially on Dominion Road. You've got a whole street with Chinese food open 24 hours. Yeah, all the dumplings and all the... So I think we will be the first ever Vietnamese food in Mount Roscoe. They opened another one on Dominion Road called Yen Yen Pho, and she only opened first day to Sunday. So start a little bit of more fusion foods are coming into the area rather than Indian foods. Back then it was only Indian foods and the European food and the Chinese. Now you get a little bit more, you know, like Vietnamese, Filipino food. It's coming in very multicultural, Marosco. Very, very multicultural.
Piece of advice would you give to someone that wants to start a business?
They have to have passion. They need to love food and they need to do what they love. Don't do what the people want. Do what you want, and then people will decide, the customer will decide if they like your food or not. Then you listen to your customers. First, you need to express what you want to do, not just because I want to make something that what customer will buy. Do something that you feel that you want, your passion, you're good at. Then people will decide, the customer will decide. You know, then you listen, then you start changing the way, the whole culture, the area, the people, what they eat, what they like. And then that's why when you come in, it's always different food happen. So we just want to know what the customer want.